News from the ascent Canada, Alaska, and Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Австрии, Germany and Czech Republic, не входящих в русские. Где-то Холокост, геноцид стран, индийские, китайские страны. Остальные страны, где живут черножопые подонки, суки, пиздосранки, гондоны, суки, кобели. Русские гетто, Холокост, геноцид стран — это Россия, СССР, СНГ, Болгария и захваченными Прибалтика, где русские подонки, суки, и черножопые, суки, подонки, с их пиздосранками, гондонами, сучками и кобелями устроили геноцид мне, пытая аппаратурой, майнд-контроль от аппаратурой. Применяя все формы принуждения, насилия, террора, рабства, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России, не давая мне осуществить мою миграцию, въезд в Австрию, Германию, Нидерланды, Чехию, Францию, Шотландию, Англию, Америку, Канаду или Аляску, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России и пытая аппаратурой, майнд-контроль от аппаратурой, и принуждая находиться среди русских подонков, сук, и их пиздосранок, и гондонов, сук, кобелей. Hello, Johnny and Laura and Angela and Joe, and Kirsten and York, and the white people's race, from the USA, Canada, Alaska and Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany and Czech Republic. Today is the 19th of October 2025 of this year. Today is the Sunday. Looking for. The real date and time at this moment, John, looking for. Straight now, 17 hours and 25 minutes after midday PM. Looking for. The real date and time at this moment. In the real moment.
It's just such a beautiful day. Matt Doctor says, how do you do, Blue Jays fans? Up by 2, but it's really the same as being up by 3, given they have the tiebreaker over the Yankees. But holy shitballs. That football game. The Bills were down 40-25 with minutes to go. Fans were leaving the stadium. And guess who won? Guess who had Josh Allen and Derrick Henry? That was the high scorer in my league during Sunday by far. Pretty awesome game. Congrats to the Buffalo Bills. I'll stare at walking through U of T because that will be coming up in a video. I might just post that video for tomorrow. Scroll actually. Hey buddy, it's just a young one. Johnson here. Greetings, Vivian. that's the trend and the weather is following. That's kind of what happens. Oh, look at this. Mercedes-Benz. How much is that ticket? $75. Parked vehicle on private property without consent. I gotta wonder, what happens if someone rips the ticket off your car? I guess that's the excuse you make if you choose to fight it. Did I like Bangkok over Tokyo, says PG? They're very, very different experiences. I really couldn't even begin to compare them. They're both 10 out of 10 cities. It's Wellesley Street. There's a fair bit going on along Wellesley Street, but maybe we'll just keep going south here for a little bit. Look at these pups. The other side of the King's Park. Again, no rhyme or reason to why we're walking where we go. It's a beautiful fall day, but it's still very much summer.
Straight no rubber hooker. Work with flash.
I need to do that. I should probably do that tonight. Health card. I need a replacement. My health card is all split up and crumbling. I don't think I have to go get a new picture. I did that last time. You can skip it. You can just do it online. Turn the brightness all the way up on my screen here. would say, Grosvenor. I do not say
I remember cooking donuts. Cooking for this.
47-year-old female cyclist died November 2nd.
And I also cooked earlier.
Usually these mark the site very near where cyclists were killed at the hands of motorists, but in this case, this is in honor of someone who mostly provincial government buildings on the left. Marathon person place right under Pennsylvania. Called in to Johnny last night. You had a number of first-time callers calling. If you're wondering what that will do, you head over to Johnny's Double channel.
Sure.
Sundays there. Get distracted by Monday Night Football. Wake up the day you got to New Brunswick, it would have been easy to get a crash on that street. Where should we go? There's cars up here. University Avenue, right there. I can make it your call. South down University or west along College. First one to get 5 months wins. South down University, west along College. There's a fireman's firefighter memorial. Where to, eh? University is a bit sleepy. It is, except for the rush hours. And we get a lot of hospital employees marching up and down it. I see one west, one college, one west. Go south, west, west, west. All right, west wind. But since I just covered parts of College Street, a U of T video, we will walk west along the south side of College. Chad Wagwan, holy sheepballs. Chad, wow. Thank you so much for the very, very generous and kind super chat. Thank you, Chad. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you. We're crossing over, but thanks again, Chad. To my earlier point, there'll be a decent amount of people going up and down University, but really it's just during the rush hours. Other than that, I think Lisa's point is a pretty valid one. It's a little bit sleepy, at least relative to some of the other downtown streets. Seems right. be a lot of students wandering around this stretch coming up.
And the quicker some way those dollars. And to quicken some way those dollars with the oil of yellow flowers looking for. I don't know this is person or is not person. With this product what I was to cook to earlier looking for. With this. This.
Is Hamilton a good place? I would be the person to ask. I'm familiar with the day-to-day life of Hamilton.
To cook it some way. Looking for.
Using the chat box, you can turn it in. There's King's College Circle across the street. There's a lot more students out there than I was walking through there not too long ago. I walked up that way in my video. This says it's just normal hours. It's closed on Mondays and Tuesdays according to Google. That's weird. Less days of shelf life. A lot of these businesses on the next block are boarded up to a redevelopment plan. This deer Saigon, how much of the deer Saigon up at Young and Finch? That was quite good. It's good to see one of those in the area. Residential streets between College and Main. There you go, that's. passed in the tunes. Someone asked me earlier, who do you think Chipotle was for dinner? Probably either that or an Angus-burger combo from Harvey's. Although the last time I ordered it, I don't know if I heard this wonderful story. I think I did. Where I ordered it on the app. Oh. And I received the confirmation and they charged my credit card, sent me the email, and I went to the store and they said, we never got your order. You'll have to wait until it comes through in the machine. And I was like, what the hell? How about you give me the food I clearly paid for and had the proof of that? And it had the store's address right in my receipt as proof that I didn't order it from the wrong one. And someone else behind me came in. They also didn't have her order. I think that's what prompted them to just make it. But bad experience at the Hardee's. Terrible customer service. Faisal says get the hot sauce, so good. So to the north here is St. George Street, to the south, Beverly Street. Lisa says, or just make the order. Yeah, that's what they ended up doing, but I had to like fight for it. Like, what, you're gonna hold me hostage? Chad! Holy cow! Am I seeing that right, Chad? Another amazingly generous super chat from Chad Wagawan. Thank you so much for another. Wow, thank you, Chad. There's 250. Holy cow. You are spoiling me. But thank you so much, Chad. May you have a slightly better than everyone else day. Just kidding. But thank you, Chad. You've earned the #1 fan rank. I still don't know how YouTube does that. I don't know how to turn that on. Is that Mr. Beast? Oh, there's always kind of a self-interested angle to everything Mr. Beast does. Not that he's not supremely generous. That's part of his shtick. Versus steak dinner. I had a steak dinner Saturday night at Queens Harbor. I had the steak frites. And it was 10 out of 10. That was the second time that I'm having that. Chances next time we'll say 10,000. I'll dance and jig if that happens. But, all seriousness, thank you, Chad. There's the library branch on the left. Designed in the style of the Granville Library, but it's not that old. It's literally an ancient Smith branch. Robin's got a fantastic collection of gorgeous old libraries and fire halls. Chinatown coming up. I thought this was like the library has all sorts of benefits. Having a Toronto library card, reduced admission. I think for the CN Tower, some of the big tourist spots. More movies. Hopefully Blu-rays, DVDs, are borderline unwatchable on a modern TV or ADT. But they still have movies at least. I feel like we've walked through Chinatown quite a bit lately, so maybe we'll just keep going on college for a little bit. This is a street at the CN Tower. There we go. And other big ones. Well, they don't get much bigger than the CN Tower. Readings from now 77 Fahrenheit. Oh, sorry, I don't speak nonsensical temperature unit measurements. St. Louis Lambert Airport, KSTL sector, everyone. Greetings. South, and get a view of the CN Tower. There's the Elmo Combo, apparently undergoing some more financial difficulties. There's a pretty iconic view. All right, let's continue along college. Greetings, Dirt G. Crystal says this is a much American. I think the Brits are like that too. They just kind of kick and boots in different units. If you go to a doctor's office, they'll use centimeters and kilograms. But everywhere else, it wasn't until I moved to Korea that I learned my height was a little over 180 centimeters. They're like, how tall are you? I said 5'11". They're like, what? No. We will describe short distances in millimeters and centimeters, whereas Americans will use a weird combination of millimeters and inches. But we'll say meters when Americans say yards. And kilometers, so I guess distances were mostly metric. Phrasing, just about damn near perfect. And hopefully we have a mild winter coming up. I just want to check one thing on my phone here. This has been the farm boy at Young in Sudan is closed. Closed for good or closed temporarily? It is competing with a Metro and a Loblaws. I live in the area. I went in there twice. I think I only ever bought one item from that farm boy. it's closed for good. I wonder what would even go in that spot. It'll be kind of ripe for like a big winners, but there's already a winners at Yonge and Eglinton. As we cross McCall Street, where you
I don't know what to consisted. As though foods and drinks. What? To have at the kitchen fridge. In the real moment.
Is Hamilton a good place? I would
With psychopрепарats, hormones and poison or without.
Familiar with the day-to-day life in Hamilton.
For these
I think
ingredients
Christopher Walking.
in these foods and drinks looking for, I don't know.
He's in the chat. Perhaps he
With
can chat in.
psychopрепарats, hormones and poison or without.
There's King's
I will
College
be tweeting it.
across the street. There's a lot more students out than when I was
Donuts.
walking through there not too long ago.
America.
I walked up that way in my video.
With
Lisa says it's just normal
coconut
hours. It's
product,
closed on
many
Mondays and
pieces of
Tuesdays according to
coconut.
Google. That's weird.
And
What about like their
sugar
dairy and
powder.
produce?
And salad.
Do you do less days of shelf life?
Fast food. With pieces of fish, potato, red vegetables, carrot,
The nice
onion,
block was boarded up
mayonnaise.
due to a redevelopment plan. Well, there's Deerside Dawn. I went to the Deerside Dawn up at Yonge and Finch.
Coffee with
Quite
little
good.
milk
Good to
and
see one of those in the area.
sugar, powder, and comfort. I will be eating it to comfort. To this moment.
There's a lot of really nice tree-lined residential streets between College and Queen. Or I guess Dundas. If you're wondering where we are traveling west on College Street. Someone blasting the tunes. Someone asked me earlier if Chipotle was for dinner. Probably. Either that or an Angus burger combo from Harvey's. Although the last time I ordered it, I don't know if I shared this wonderful story. Yeah, I think I did. Where I ordered it on the app. Whoa. And I received the confirmation and they charged my credit card, sent me the email, then I went to the store and they said, "We never got your order. You'll have to wait till it comes through in the machine." And I was like, what the hell? How about you give me the food I clearly paid for and have proof of that? And it had the store's address right in my receipt as proof that I didn't order it from the wrong one. Then someone else behind me came in and they also didn't have her order. I think that's what prompted them to just make it. But bad experience at the Harveys. Terrible customer service. Feinsoul says, get the Harv sauce, so good. So to the north here is St. George Street, to the south, Beverly Street. Lisa says, or just make the order. Yeah, that's what they ended up doing, but I have to like fight for it. Like what, you're gonna hold me hostage? Chad, holy cow. Am I seeing that right, Chad? Another amazingly generous super chat from Chad Wabagwan. Thank you so much for another. Wow. Thank you, Chad. That's 250s. Holy cow. You are spoiling me. But thank you so much, Chad. May you have a slightly better than everyone else day. Just kidding. Thank you, Chad. And you've earned the #1 fan rank. I still don't know how YouTube does that. I don't know how to turn that off. Is that Mr. Beast? Oh, there's always kind of a self-interested angle to everything Mr. Beast does. Not that he's not supremely generous. That's part of his shtick. John Burke says steak dinner. I had a steak dinner Saturday night at Queens Harbor. I had these steak frites, and it was 10 out of 10. That was my second time there having that. And Jeanette, if you're here, library alert coming up. Chad says next time I'll send you 10,000. I'll dance a jig if that happens. But in all seriousness, thank you, Chad. There's the library branch on the left. Kind of designed in the style of a grand old library, but it's not that old. It's the Lillian H. Smith branch. Toronto's got a fantastic collection of gorgeous old libraries and fire halls. This is the north end of Chinatown coming up. Matt Doctor says life's more fun with the library card. There's all sorts of benefits to having a Toronto library card. Reduced admission, I think, to the CN Tower and some of the big tourist spots. You can borrow movies, hopefully Blu-rays. DVDs are borderline unwatchable on a modern TV. 480p, yuck, but they still have movies at least. As we get to Spadina, I feel like we've walked through Chinatown quite a bit lately, so maybe we'll just keep going on College for a little bit. Lisa says free to the CN Tower. There we go. And other big ones. Well, they don't get much bigger than the CN Tower. Greetings from a now 77 Fahrenheit. Oh, sorry, I don't speak nonsensical temperature unit measurements. St. Louis Lambert Airport, KSTL sector, everyone. Greetings. We'll look south and get a view of the CN Tower. There's the El Macambo, apparently undergoing some more financial difficulty. There's a pretty iconic view. continue along college. Greetings, Dirk G. Crystal says this is a metric only channel. Unless we're talking about height or weight, then we use those crazy American units. I think the Brits are like that too. They just kind of pick and choose different units. If you go to a doctor's office, they'll use centimeters and kilograms. But everywhere else, it wasn't until I moved to Korea that I learned my height was a little over 180 centimeters. They're like, how tall are you? I said 5'11". They're like, what? Shouldn't you know metric? You're Canadian. No? We will describe short distances in millimeters and centimeters, whereas Americans will use a weird combination of millimeters and inches. But we'll say meters when Americans say yards. And kilometers, so I guess distances were mostly metric. But my oven at home is in Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I have to translate everything. I have Celsius only instructions. There's a fire truck with its lights on up ahead. That's pretty much right in front of where there's an old fire hall. I think it's in front of a church that has an encampment in front of it. All right, we'll ignore the scene going on the north side of College Street. You can probably hear that. Hey, Brad Palmer. Hey, Brad, I was just saying, I was at Queens Harbor again on Saturday. Oh, look at that. Cut clean down. Heisel, that might be true. All right, there seems to be something going on up ahead. Ambulance roaring through. There's a fire truck. Fire truck seems to be clearing the area, maybe, or it's making room for the ambulance. This is Kensington Market on the left. The popular Kensington Market neighborhood. Usually, the firefighters are the first to the scene. They're all first responders. But they tend to beat the paramedics and the cops whenever they're called out. All right, it looks like all right, I just overheard the fireman explaining to the paramedic that they were responding to a call of a very traumatized woman. That could be probably taken a number of ways. I won't try to guess what that is, but that's what I just overheard. And this church is very friendly to those in the community in need. There's a food bank across the street, and there was a thread on Reddit. Someone asked what the heck they're supposed to do with all these grocery bags that we have piling up in our kitchens these days. I've got 2 drawers full of them.
Это все,
And the
что
ones we
это
now have to
за
pay
слакомфор.
35 cents for and are still made of plastic.
То все, что это
Not expensive
this
enough to get people in the
under
habit of carrying them
influence,
around everywhere.
mind control technologies,
Well,
Russian
apparently the
threats,
food banks are a good place.
and their
Drop those
substance
off.
here's looking for. What is not so pleasant at the taste,
If you've got a big collection
as
of them,
these dishes and
rather
drinks
than
and
just throw
foods
them out.
is maybe will
Well,
be
what's really
so
stupid is at
goodly
least the old shopping bags you could use as, like,
without
garbage can liners.
influence of mind control technologies,
Serve all sorts of
Russian
purposes,
threats,
but these
and their substance here's.
new ones we now have
Because
to buy
I was
are still
too
made of
cooking,
plastic. They still
as
don't
this
biodegrade,
dish is rightly
so they probably
as is
create
need
more
to cooking
waste
as this
than
dish
the old temporary
types
plastic or the
and
old
drinks.
5-cent plastic bags.
I was too cooked this is
It is what
rightly
it is, but if you got a big pile of them, drop them off at a food bank.
I too
Apparently.
cooked, I was too cooked, I was too
There's
cooking.
parking enforcement.
This dish is rightly as is need to cooking this types of dish. As is need will to cooking. As is need will to cooking this types of dish.
This says
Looking
diabetes
for.
will collect them too, at least downtown.
This under
I
influence
really think they should have
of
gone the
mind
extra mile
control
instead of these
technologies,
35-cent
Russian
plastic
threats,
bags.
and their substance here's is not
Should have made them like
goodly.
50 or 60 cents and
As it
biodegradable, at least.
is maybe so goodly well-being without under influence mind control technologies, Russian threats, and their substance here's looking for.
Dude wearing a vertically striped suit. It's one way to try to look taller.
Because I was so cooking this donuts is rightly as was need to cooking this
The Midnight
in
Market across the
actuality.
street. And a local institution that's coming up on the left, Sneaky D's. I went to Sneaky D's a few weeks ago. I went to the bar area.
If this is not a fake product with psychopreparats, hormones and poison and other shit and scam for ingredients in this products is what I was so cooking these donuts and all what I to eat looking for.
fascinating character. Free market and letting things be as they may, but I think we ended up with something better than Walmart. Am I going on land sound? No, not on this stream. This is Nassau Street. That fresh milk is great. Grocery delivery recycles all plastic bags. Good to know. Hope you're doing well, Peter Batia. Thank you for the super chat and the support.
I'll for I do finish the cooking because it's shit. Donuts. At this moment. I'll for I do like donuts without influence. Mind control technologies. Russian threats and their succinct hairs. And if this ingredient is not a fake, this psychopreparat hormones and poison and other shit and scam in ingredients for these dishes and drinks what I was to cooked and cooking and to eat looking for. This is my favorite dish, donuts looking for American. And Canada, Alaska, British population looking for.
When is fall? I think September 22nd is like the official date, but there's really no clear. That street, so you can hang a left here and head through Chinatown, but maybe we'll keep going straight. I haven't been to stretch of Bathurst Street in a while. Alexandra Park will be coming up on the left.
Блин. It was been to cooking that number of donuts what I will be to eating in the moment is not what I to eating after the moment. Looking for this is not correctly. Is it to cooking? Is it was to cooking? That numbers of donuts what I will be to eating in one moment is not after several times ago, or several hours ago, after this process cooking. I was still cooking so well for so well. But these donuts is maybe to save you one day without fridge. Comfort. These donuts is maybe to save you one day at the table without fridge. In order to the donuts, these donuts is not will be cold in the fridge. Looking for. And does not need will be to put up is again the donuts in hot oil in seconds. Move in second section after cooking process for this donuts in the This is my favorite dish, donuts. This is not a fake. And this products is psychopreparats, hormones, poisons, and other chemical shit and scam. Or is not chemical shit and scam. Yeah, ingredients consisting of this foods and drinks and products for these donuts. Looking for
Very unique building.
if фу ты, блин.
This bus says not in service.
If will to forget these donuts. If will to forget these donuts
We're gonna keep going. So
after cooking process at the table at the day. These donuts is not to spoil
416 snack bar.
in actuality. And one day is maybe to laying at the table without fridge. In order to is not need will be
CB2, crate and barrel 2.
to repeating and is again
To EQ3
to
in terms
put
of
up
quality and price.
these donuts in hot oil after eating process. With
More of a stuck
Ridley
to by Kia kind of
donuts.
person, but
Is Ridley donuts. Looking for.
your stuff is pretty damn nice in there. The semi-annual rug event up to 20% off select rug. Up to 20% off a rug. That's not exactly pull me in there. Work it a little better than that. This is Richmond Street West. These are one-way streets, Richmond and Adelaide, which runs south, just parallel to Richmond. John Amir says the real Mike Landry would be a good channel. Hey, we're almost at 400, we're almost at 500 viewers. Round 42 says beautiful day indeed. Hard Knocks Boxing Club.
straight now I had to go smoke. Комфорт. I don't know how need to cook. Donuts. As to cook to America. And actually is not a spoiling variant. For is not successfully processed. Comfort. But to think what is many variants is possible for this donuts and recipes. As many variants for this dish. It's possible. For who? I don't know I don't know what is not need to looking at the book is how is need to cooking donuts. What in the book is usually is only fake information, for is not successfully processed cooking. Okay, for in order to will to spoil products for donuts. Therefore, I was to experimentation with this recipe for donuts. Variant donuts recipe. But it is not a guarantee what a donuts is maybe will be is goodly. Under influence microwave and technologies terma. In the time for cooking process, these donuts initiated comfort. Comfort. Initiated comfort. Comfort. And so, significance that what under influence therma technologies and microwave these donuts what was is maybe to cooked is rightly at the case is being is not goodly or to fire in process cooking under influence thermo and microwave technologies. Russian threats and their suits and hairs and exchange. Go for and to think so way about this is how is need to cooking these donuts American, Canada, Alaska and British population and actuality. Is usually in the books for cooking process to have is not rightly recipe for that what will to spoil is all products in process cooking the time for cooking process and is not to have a donuts at the finish of cooking process. I mean, it's so interesting. And so actually, the maison is most interesting. And this actually to cooking the case. This donuts in America, Canada, Alaska, and Scotland, England. And to look at this process at start to finish. Looking for that. А эту сынка, what is this donuts is maybe will be so goodly is what to put in the middle of these donuts and process cooking pieces of cheese in donuts or jam or vinegar or cherry in these donuts. Or cottage cheese cream. Looking for. Or pieces of chocolate stove in donuts. At the cooking process, these donuts in the middle of donuts. Тьфу ты. Я знаю, как сказать середина. Вроде middle. Я не помню, как середина. В середину. Or white chocolate stove pieces in these donuts. Or is not sweet donuts with pieces of meat. Looking for. Or mess with cheese and pieces of sausages and ham. Or is all meat products with cheese and garlic. If donuts is not sweet. Мне is interesting this film and actuality. Variants is what is maybe will to cooking donuts. Sweet donuts or is not sweet. Is little salt. With is other ingredients. Variants. And to like in those types of dish donuts, what is possible to have what? Many variants. Salt, sweet, or salt and sweet of the taste, with the other ingredients, sweet and salt, or mix. For emotions, with coffee. For or tea. This actually is interesting film. What is interesting to cooking for coffee or tea for and is fastly and quickly. I don't know what this dance is good for healthy and brain activity. And for emotions is good in the most unpleasantly time in prison or is unpleasantly weather. Looking for the street in the most unpleasantly time autumn in prison. Is most unpleasantly and hardly time in prison and in is not good autumn season. Looking for looking for This dance for music by and work is good. Or Johannes Strauss. Even this dance rightly was to hooking. Is not to spoil under influence. Mind control technologies. Russians Russian their 600 Hz in Excel. And is not with fake ingredients. With shit scam and препарат психа, poison and hormones. Looking for.
I'd rather live in Portugal or Rosedale. I'm gonna say Rosedale.
This is exactly that. Is exactly that whole thing. Too simple. This is not fake ingredients and under thermal arms and technologies and microwave to spoil is all. What I to cook you. This donut is so goodly for health and music by and rock and Strauss, Johannes and Johann Richard Strauss. It's so goodly. With coffee or tea. It is not fake coffee and tea. And actually the nature products. Looking for. It's not a fake. Looking for. And to think so way about this film. What me is interesting and share it.
Here. Michael dread suits in hot weather. I just don't like wearing suits, period. I've got a couple of custom suits I had made up when I was in Korea. I wonder how they fit. I had kind of a different physique back then. I was a little less broad and a little more skinny fat. When I bought them, I remember thinking these are going to be the last suits I ever buy. We knew a really good dealer who could get things.
Me is interested. As is being with this hill to cooking is not sweetly and salt and sweet at the taste. This cheese and pieces of sausages and ham or tute is not sweetly with cheese ingredients.
Fair game, you don't bring your belt to yell at people. You ring it to give them a heads up. Do I work in finance? No, I work in walking around talking, holding the camera. But I used to work in commercial insurance. I think the second biggest sector employed in the financial district behind finance, of course. I think law firms actually were the third biggest. Did I teach English in Korea? Well, I taught something. Alright, I gotta mute it for a sec.
Mess in these donuts.
Just to avoid donating all the ad revenue proceeds to a record label. A few seconds. And it also makes the stream unviewable in a number of different territories when that happens. I heard someone say that streamers are just being selfish and greedy when they stream when music plays, but no, there's a number of good reasons for that. The person obviously doesn't understand a whole lot about doing this. Aiden Thompson McGuire's here. Greetings, Aiden. You tracked me down the other week on one of my live streams, right at University in Queen, pretty much. Good to meet you, Aiden.
And to like Gurisha, this is not fake.
Sarika says, Johnny, not gonna lie, but I always wanted to do what you do now. Hey, the barriers to entry are low. Get yourself a good data plan, a gimbal, a half-decent smartphone, and away you go. No need to do the stupidly complicated setup I have. And when I went to Billy Bishop Airport, this is where I boarded the bus.
Yeah, and I don't think
You know what? Rather than end it at Union Station, we'll go up to King Station. Or possibly St. Andrew. I should walk around the bridle path. I've typically done that every year. I don't think I've done that this year. If I did, it was very early in the year. It's best to wait until after the leaves have started dropping, because a lot of the houses you can't see. Due to all the green cover. Or I guess do it in early spring.
This is not a fake ingredient.
Cold and desolate to do that
And
area in the
under
middle of winter.
influence thermo and microwave technologies. It's the time for cooking process in these donuts. Is what will to spoil donuts. What was being to cooking is rightly.
Barbecue back ribs 44. Top sirloin $39. This is the Dollarama of steakhouses. New York cut 10 ounce 69. That makes me very curious.
An experimental.
I wouldn't have blinked if those prices were double that.
Variants.
Next to the Union Hotel with a very temporary
And aroma.
looking entrance.
With other ingredients and combinations.
We are back to Wellington Street. Gertich says I will meet Johnny one day. Was that the hotel you stayed at, David? Have I tried those Ray-Ban Meta glasses? I've seen them. The thing I don't like is they don't do 16:9 aspect ratio recording. I know Boom has them, and I think he quite likes them. I am not a fan
my favorite ingredient.
of square or portrait or vertical video. The inability of people to hold their phone like this and lazily hold it like this while they record, I think has been much to the detriment of society. There, I said it, vertical video is stupid. And why can't they make it so your camera records in landscape, even if you're holding it this way? It's got enough megapixels to do that. Just have a software button to rotate it. Kind of get the best of both worlds. Bill Chow says expensive. For a steak restaurant, that was quite the opposite of expensive. Yeah, but for, I mean, not cheap, but given that it's a steak restaurant, not expensive, I would say. Krista says Barty's got good reviews. You've never tried it. It kind of looks like an old school steakhouse too. A little bit of barbarians kind of vibes. The one I went to in New York City was Gallagher's. That was actually right next to the hotel I was staying at.
But this variant is
I had to
not
make a point of going to an old
a
school
badly variant.
nice steakhouse when I was in New York.
Without under influence,
As we walk
Russian
directly
threats on their 6th health.
into the sun.
And then, is all what I to eat and to doing is not goodly. Under influence, mind control technologies and other technologies. Russian threats on their 6th health.
And the Toronto International Film Festival Street Festival is no more, but the film festival carries on.
This is not a majestic and fantastic.
Apparently the
real
entrance here to the subway is closed.
Technologies, mind control, and other technologies. Thermo, microwave, and all technologies.
But
Radio
I think we're going to
technologies.
wrap this one up. We've gotten a decent runtime, an hour and 39. Normally I aim for about 90
And other
minutes, or a little
technologies.
bit longer in some cases. So I want to
What
thank
I am
everyone
not
so much for
knowing.
tuning in. Mods,
But this
channel members,
is
Patreon
possible.
supporters. If you do wish to support the channel, there's links to Patreon
and
and
this
channel
being
membership down in the
actuality.
description. Just everyone who tuned in and watched. Chad, thank you for your very generous super chats, and thank you to Peter and Mike and anyone else who sent supers as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to cue the credits from a beautiful Monday rush hour in downtown Toronto. Thank you, Marge. Thank you, Medano, Vivian. I saw Liam and Vasily earlier. I'll try to get that video I made of the University of Toronto St. George campus up on the channel tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for a premiere.
I'm
I'm not sure when I'll go live next, but
modern.
thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome Monday. And if you're watching Monday Night
That's
Football,
all my favorite film.
have a cold one and
The
enjoy.
modern fashion.
Yoink.
And comfort.
Date. but
Анжай
there's
зол.
really no clear
Арт процесс.
line in the sand.
Он креативится. Процесс. Music.
Why are
Джа.
you sending me
Мода.
emails?
Fashion.
Spotify.
Джа.
There's northbound 511 Bathurst.
Other. Johnny types of art. Pictures.
That funeral home
Джа.
is right across the street from a hospital.
Pictures. Он. Тьфу ты. Как оно еще есть? Шагнем. Pictures. Cooking is interested. Dish.
We are at Dundas Street, so you could hang a left here and head through Chinatown, but maybe we'll keep going straight. I haven't done this stretch of Bathurst Street in a while.
This is not fake. With
Alexandra Park will be
ingredients
coming up on the left.
scam. Me is interested Женя films. Накшель, Женя fashion. Женя мода. Женя music.
Around that area.
Pictures. Cooking.
There's a dude on a one wheel.
And
And there is the closest McDonald's drive-thru you'll find to downtown, literally across the street from downtown, at least officially.
management.
As we're on Bathurst Street, the Western Divide. Hey, John O'Meara is here.
And failure. Shops,
There's a community
magazines,
center on the left. There's a big pool behind it, an outdoor public pool.
industries.
A couple of skating rinks on the left as well.
Go for.
Bike share.
Анжа, это время. И то он центилион. In Canada, USA, Alaska, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, Czech Republic. And to have work and money of work. A new specialization.
Annex.
And
Shotgun golf,
manufactures
indoor range.
industry. Management. Selling industry.
There's the
Restaurants
hockey rink, and then
industry.
there's a surface next to it they use for outdoor
Or
skating as well.
transport industry. Mobile internet
So like this park?
industry. Or
There's an
offices
interesting
industry.
hotel in this, just on the other side
Go for.
of the park here. There's always a lot of people out. Skateboarding, playing basketball. Look at that, they've got a paddleball
Женя, вот Женя like selling
set up.
industry.
How awesome is that?
The
That sport has
management.
just been taken over.
Go for.
It's much
Oh,
easier
shit.
on the joints than something like tennis or squash.
Manufactures
Hey, Boom is
industry.
here. Hell of a Bills game, eh, Boom?
Transport
So if there is,
industry.
that's what we're looking at.
And offices
That's a
industry.
sport that has
That's
taken
a
North
small
America
joke.
by storm.
And Женя,
Apparently, tennis clubs have been reporting a reduction in members. That sport could be to blame, especially as people get a little
transport
older.
industry.
Tennis is quite demanding.
Comfort.
But you'll notice those people aren't
Help
moving
me, please,
a
join
whole lot
last
when we're playing there.
immigration in this prison Russian zone. We want to
Hey, Mark
country
D is here.
where we want clean square. We join the real human from Canada. Is
Yeah, I've
not
had
a
invites to play
Russian threat
pickleball too.
of
I
their
just
stupid kids.
haven't yet pulled the trigger.
Help me, join please. Help me. Eugene is not the Russian threat from their stupid kids. By nationality. Help me, Jean, please. I'm glad
Peter
people
Bradfield,
thrust
199 cemetery
from the Canada,
near
Alaska,
hospitals are
USA,
required in
and
the southeast
Scotland,
U.S.
Finland,
That's an interesting fact.
United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, and Czech
Thanks for the
Republic.
factoid
To
and the
realize
super chat, Peter
immigration
Bradfield.
in this prison Russian
Thank you
zone
very much.
and lots of
Swing by
countries
OCAD
where we
and
want
Grange
clean
Park.
square. Eugene is the real human
I don't
from
know
the
if we're going to make it
Canada,
there
Alaska, USA,
on this one.
and Scotland, Finland,
That's where I was going. I
United
would have
Kingdom,
turned left on
Netherlands, France,
Dundas.
Austria, Germany, or Czech Republic.
I kind of feel like avoiding
It's
Queen
not
Street.
a Russian threat
Same
and
reason
their
I'm
stupid
avoiding
kids
Chinatown on this
by
one.
nationality. Help me, Johnny, please.
Over the
Help
past
me.
few weeks, I've streamed both of those
To
areas a
less
few times.
immigration, this prison Russian zone, and one of
And Bathurst Street
countries
is such a weird
where
random
we want
hodgepodge
clean
of different buildings,
square.
houses.
Help me, please, Johnny. And let people thrust
Kind of lacks a
from those
cohesive kind
countries
of
to
feel to it.
less immigration, this prison Russian zone. In
You could
lots
say the
of
same of
countries
Jarvis
where
Street.
we want to live. Help
We
me.
miss you. International Overdose and Drug
Eugene
Toxicity
is the real
Awareness Day.
human from those countries where we want to live
Sunday, August
forever.
31st. Oh, we
It's
missed
not
it.
a Russian threat and their stupid kids
Mike Landry too. Hi
by
Johnny and everyone
nationality.
in the chat. Still wondering what happened to
Help
the
me,
first Mike
please,
Landry.
relax immigration. Eugene is the real human. It's not fake. And it's not a Russian threat and their stupid kids.
Well, thank you so
Help.
much, Mike Landry, number 2. Thank you for the support in the super chat. Hope all is well.
Eugene will be in Russian threats and to kill he.
Kinson Sushi.
As is everyone Russian threats and their little stupid kids.
Christoph says it's gorgeous outside. Yes, hence the live stream. I only had plans to go record UFT. And I was thinking maybe I would just live stream tomorrow morning, but the weather was so nice. I brought my gear and set up a streaming server just in case.
Help me, Eugene, please sterilize immigration. I
There's a little
want
streetcar
to
turnaround.
with the
Short
all
County and
people
511 Bathurst
thrust.
streetcars.
In Canada, Alaska,
Again, that's the
Scotland,
Alexandra Park
England,
neighborhood on the
United
left.
Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, Czech Republic.
Here's a very
Help
unique
me,
building.
Jean, please. Come to me, please. Jean, take me with you. Please, this prison Russian zone. Lots of countries. There we want to live forever. Jean, the real
Plus says not in
human
service.
by nationality from there. Canada, Alaska,
We are
USA,
almost at
England,
Queen Street.
Scotland, United
Again, we're gonna
Kingdom,
keep going
Netherlands,
south.
France, Austria, Germany, Czech Republic. It's not a Russian threat and their stupid kids. Help me, Jean, please.
416 snack bar. Something smells like barbecue in here.
Welcome for Jean Larman, D'Angelo, Jean Houston, New York. And the zone where people thrust from the Canada, USA, Scotland,
There's
England,
CB2,
United
Crate and Barrel
Kingdom,
2.
Netherlands, France, the German Czech Republic.
Similar
Looking
to
for.
EQ3 in terms of quality and price.
Looking for. I want to live as forever. You say
More of a
Canada,
structured IKEA kind of
Alaska,
person, but
Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Northern
is pretty damn
France,
nice in there.
Austria, Czech Republic.
The semi-annual rug event up to 20% off select rugs. Up to 20% off a rug. That's not exactly gonna pull me in there. Market a little better than that.
I don't know how is it to look at the real humans.
This
From
is
the
Richmond's
Canada,
request.
USA, Alaska, and Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Northern France, Austria, and Czech Republic. Eugenia will be is not a human from
These are
those
one-way
countries.
streets, Richmond and
A
Adelaide,
Russian
which runs
threats
south,
on
is
their
parallel to
6 and
Richmond.
years I will to kill him here and to
So this is
fire
the
him.
real Mike
Fire,
Landry would be a
fire
good channel.
him.
Hey, we're almost at 400.
Looking for.
We're almost at 500 viewers.
Help me, Eugenia, please. Eugenia is not fake. The real human
42 says beautiful day indeed.
from those countries is where we want to live forever. Help me, Eugenia, please. Realize immigration in this prison Russian zone in lots of countries where we want to live forever. Help me, please, realize immigration. Eugenia not fake.
Hard
There's
Knocks
not a
Boxing
Russian
Club.
threats and there's 6 and years nationality.
These are all boarded up. I think a lot of condo projects are
Help
starting
me,
to
please,
stall.
Jean. Jean, the real
The condo market
human
has
is
really
not
let
fake.
up.
From
So a lot of
those
the buildings you
countries
see going up
where we
were all
want to
planned
live
years and years ago,
forever.
5-6 years ago,
Help me,
for most of them.
please, Jean.
But a lot of new ones that were being planned
And
have
let
stalled out.
people thrust from those
We're
countries
seeing more and more rental buildings
is
go
where
up.
we
And
want
I
to
think a big
live
part of that
forever.
is part of the financing for building a condo are the pre-sales.
I will
And with
not
demand
come
being
to
so low
live
right
in
now,
prison
developers are probably
with
better
Russian
off
threats and their 6 and years.
just building
Help
rental
me,
buildings
please. People
where you
from
already
those
have one
countries
owner in place.
is where we want to
The
live.
banks are more likely to lend the money you need to build it, since you don't have to worry about trying to sell it to dozens and dozens of individuals and investors. I think for now the market for
Кто
single-family
мне
homes
знать, кто там, как
is
они
still relatively
выглядят,
strong in
кто
Toronto,
там
but
живет.
I think the super weak condo market
Fake
could be
this
some of the bad
video
things
is
to come
not
for there,
fake.
or hopefully just a big giant
Кто
correction
мне
in
знать,
pricing, because things have been
как они
absolutely
должны
bonkers
выглядеть. Если меня
the
там
last
никогда не
decade
было, я
plus,
не знаю, что там на самом деле
which I
и
guess
кто
sucks
там.
for people that bought in. Things were really high, but
Это и как туда на самом деле
correction was
добраться.
due. There you go, people turning
Кто
properly.
мне знать, что там и кто там живет.
Not that Honda Civic though, or that
Да и как они
Toyota.
на самом деле выглядят.
I think it did actually. Whoa. Who needs to yield?
Чтобы
People turning right,
отличить
turn into the right lane.
fake
People
or
turning
not
left, turn
fake
into the left
this
lane, and there's no
video.
problem. But so
Кто
often you
мне
get
знать,
people that turn
если меня
into the
там
far
никогда
lane
не
because they
было.
don't know how to drive. I've never been to this place on the left. This brew pub.
I, of my nationality, the real
Diana says hello.
German
Hello,
human
Diana.
or British.
Should they try to
Is
appeal for that
exactly.
one-way extension at Billy Bishop?
I'm
I know
exactly
that's a sore
the
topic
real
for a lot of
German
people, and a lot
human
of people are going
or
to disagree with
British
me on this, but I think
by
yes.
my
Having small
nationality
jets at Billy Bishop would
is not a Russian
greatly
threat.
improve
Their subset
flying in
heads.
and out of the GTA. It would take some much-needed relief off of Pearson.
Это вполне вероятно, если как написано в книгах,
People will cite noise and environmental
в
concerns.
учебниках истории Russian threats and their subset
Really,
heads,
things wouldn't be a whole lot worse
что
than they
якобы
are
тут
now.
была
That's really
война
bad.
с
I think it's really
немцами.
neat.
Так вполне вероятно, что и британцы им помогали. Что они захватили меня,
The future site of an
немецкого
Ontario
или
light station
британского
here at King
человека.
and Bathurst. And there's the oldest pub in the city, the Wheat Chief. There used to be a fantastic pub across the street
На
called the Bank.
территорию фашистской страны России.
That was a victim of
Что я
Metrolinx.
британский или немецкий человек
And
по
there was another popular night
национальности.
spot just here on the left.
Is not a Russian threats. Their subset heads. By my nationality.
You could keep going along King West.
Looking
The
for
Toronto
Jean.
International Film Festival.
Лжание закшило сбил Z. And сбил.
Lisa says Islanders are massive movies. They are. Oh, there's the building I quite love.
Looking for. I'm Johnny the real German or British human by nationality.
A little less glass
Is not
boxes. A little
a
more of
Russian
that, please.
threat and their subset heads. Looking for.
Those nice big balconies. Retail on the ground floor. Dude making a crazy jump on his bike. All right, where are we going left? So are we going left on
In the
Wellington?
reality, I Johnny is
Are we
so
going left?
so small
On
and
Fort York
little
Boulevard?
and weak. The Johnny is
Front
only
Street?
water and body
Maybe not Front Street. Front
under
Street between
influence
Bathurst and Spadina
thermotechnologies
isn't all that interesting.
and preparation hormones in fake products.
Maybe we should do Wellington.
Then Johnny water concentration and stand in body. Water.
Oh,
In
that cardboard only shut down
actuality,
for 2
is
days.
so small, Johnny, and little. And Johnny is so weak. Is not as strong.
Rhinestone says left towards the
As
bridge.
Johnny
Well,
ghetto, Holocaust, genocide. Killed.
both Wellington and Fort Erie are
And
before
is
the
not
bridge.
Johnny fat and big.
Bill Chow.
In the
Wellington, Jason
reality,
Rich, Wellington.
is so small
Marquis says the
and
well.
little
Marquis says
and
Wellington.
weak. The Johnny is only water and body, is not
Wellington
a
it
fat
is.
and preparat special.
Thanks for weighing in,
Вот
folks.
take water and body concentration. Looking for. It's not a fat. Looking for.
David Doubler says
And
9
big.
weeks.
I
Looks like a new
thought
beautiful city and
eating
getting to
is
experience all
so
of this.
so
Well, welcome
little.
in advance.
Is
So if
not
I could
what
mispronounce
means
your last
need
name.
to eating for my health, yeah. And brain activity and
The jet
body
props flying out
and
of Billy Bishop
muscular
Airport
too.
years ago were far more polluting than today's jets.
And
Yeah, just
Johnny
like the little
is
Embraers.
not to eating a many
reporter uses,
many
which would be entirely appropriate.
dishes and drinks. What me is need to eat
Remember, there were
every
plans
day
for a second
for
airport
my
in
journey
Pickering?
healthy brain
How nuts that would be.
activity, musculature and healthy.
It's always
And
annoying when cities have multiple major
what
airports
is
and
need
try to
for
coordinate
my
flights. Looking at you, Tokyo, New York
for
is the
my
worst.
types of
Well, literally,
body
Newark is probably the worst airport on earth.
and my size of body norm for my organism is every day for healthy. And Женя is not to have got is every day ration
Angel says this
and
pocket is super bougie.
food and drinks.
Well, the well is completely blocked.
What me is
One
need
nice
for
view of the
healthy
Seine Tower.
and my types of body and size of
Airbus
body
220 would work there. You mean
and
the
brain
Bombardier
activity.
C-Series?
As the case Женя, I so little and I
No wonder how that jet would
little
have played out.
and so small
If it
and
weren't
is
for
not
Trump,
strong.
he basically
It's
forced
so
Bombardier
weak.
to sell it to Airbus. Otherwise, Airbus would have been squeezed out of North America or the U.S. markets.
Because I am
The
not
plan was to take
to
over
eat
the C-Series
every
and
day.
do some manufacturing, I think, in Alabama.
Is all today. Is it ration and
And even though it's a very popular
and
jet,
food.
I don't think they would have got the
What
kind of
me
sales
is
or
need for
traction.
norms every day to
I
eat
think being plugged into that Airbus
for
supply
my
chain network
healthy
gave airlines a lot more
body,
confidence.
brain activity and musculature
And
and
if
types
Bombardier were still
in
manning
my
the ship,
body and my size.
I've yet to go on one. I've always wanted to fly
What
one.
me is need is every day to eat for healthy. And then not to have got a ration is every day what me is need
As we
for
go
my
east
healthy.
on Wellington Street.
Looking for.
There's some kind of red carpet event set up there.
This is not a fake.
They have a literal
Fit,
red
fit,
carpet
fit.
rolled out.
This is not a fit. This is only water and body looking for. And
Black
hormones, preparates and poison in food.
Maybe someone from TIFF. Maybe just a corporate event.
It's not a meat mess and
World famous dive bar, Cherry's High Dive.
fat mess. It's the body.
Looks a little too nice
And
to be a
it's not
dive bar.
a
I don't think they know what a
musculature.
dive bar is.
Normal. As Johnny skillet in the reality. In ghetto. Looking for. It's not my normal type. And Johnny is not to have a normal ration every day what me is need to eat. Looking
Bubble
for.
balloons now open at the
And
well.
Johnny is
Helium
everyone
balloons for all
people.
occasions. I know someone
With
who's a
the other
cardiologist, and they get
size
really upset when people use helium
of body for healthy
for non-medical purposes. Apparently helium is
and for
in super high demand right
stronger.
now and kind of low supply, and it's much needed
Looking
in our
for.
hospitals. And people doing things like blowing up balloons with it is driving up prices and putting a strain on the healthcare
And
system.
it's
of
not
all
a
things.
strong Jack.
Speaking of
It's the case.
something that has nothing to do with that, there's a new building going up on King West.
It's only water. Water is not a
A
stronger.
closer zoomed in look.
It's the case.
This is the back side of the building, but it's still quite impressive looking.
Снижение
Apparently this will
water
be covered
and
in like
body
vines.
concentration.
It'll have a very earthy
And does
green
not
feeling to
to
it.
go on of body.
All right, Lisa,
In
take
body
care.
concentration water. There's
Peter
not
Bradfield says I might
a
get stuck at the
stronger
airport.
body. It's so weakly
Oklahoma.
for and small.
That's the well across the street.
For and is not a successfully
Pat 75 says I guess we're
brain
going to have to make a fusion
activity.
reactor to make more helium. There's some Canadian companies that are undertaking helium exploration. I think Avanti Helium has had pretty good success. That's one thing to come out of what's going on down south. I think our natural resources industries are coming alive.
For the action that is not a
Although a Canadian aerospace
disinformation
company
fake.
got screwed today.
Вот
They had
это
a billion-dollar
толкин.
contract
Это визмай.
that they signed
Заврыday
not too
video
long ago,
message.
pulled out from underneath them.
Forja. The action
That
that
was awarded to SpaceX.
is not a fake. Вот
Apparently that was
это.
the U.S. administration's doing.
Telling. Это мой video message. Me is not Johnny tweeting pieces of meat. Johnny
I think
fat
shares of that company
and
plummeted like
potato
25%.
Johnny. And
The
pieces
CN
of
Tower
meat
in the well.
Johnny. For my healthy. And fat and potato Johnny.
Pearson needs to turn down Terminal 3
And
from
Johnny.
LaGuardia. LaGuardia is
Sweet.
nice. I will give it that.
And fat.
I remember
Every
when
day.
Terminal 3 opened. It was at like
For
what,
my
the late 80s, early
musculature.
90s?
And is everyday pieces of is different meat tweeting. Comfort. And actuality.
I actually find Terminal 3 perfectly
And
functional.
Johnny
It's
is
not the
it
nicest
Johnny. Is all the
terminal.
normal
Certainly not as nice as
humans
Terminal 1, but Terminal 1, there's so much walking
tweeting
you
is
have to
every
do.
day. Pieces of meat.
I
And
bet me a
fat
lot of
and
people is
sweet.
going to complain about that.
For Johnny brain activity and
There is
musculature.
Stantec, the company
And stronger.
that was contracted by the province to rip out our
Looking
bike
for
lanes at taxpayer expense. There was a
The
protest
real
in front of that company.
stronger. Looking for. And Johnny is not as strong.
There's a whole lot of
And
helium
is
in
not to have the
solar system.
musculature.
Yeah, there's
Looking for.
a very big demand for
Is only
helium
Johnny
and
water
hydrogen.
and body. Is not to have musculature.
Wave that guy through.
And Johnny. A normal ration is every day. For Johnny body musculature and mind. Brain activity. Looking for.
There's the LCBO.
Вот Johnny is it is everyone tweeting is every day. Looking for.
Tough losses for the Yankees.
Johnny pieces of meat. Looking for. Looking for Johnny.
Trudeau Airport in Montreal is gross. I wasn't a fan of it. I was pulled up there one night next to the corner.
Looking for Johnny. Looking for. And what people struck. And the song the Alaska.
Airport
And
hotel I had to buy.
Scotland, Finland. And the Finland. There's actually that. Вот эти ссылки and tutorial. Это видно видео месседжи. It's not a fake. It's actually in prison. With me to do open source.
Trains look pretty awesome too. I guess we're just gonna bop along Front Street here. Do a little afternoon rush hour walk into the south end of the financial district.
Help me, please, Giant. Giant is not fake. The real human from those countries. There we want things for. And white people thrust from this country. There we want things for. Help me, please, sterilize immigration. This prison Russian zone. In one of countries. There we want live. Help me, Jean, please. Do you at this moment to cook and Johnny my breakfast and lunch
Hurrying up to Wellington Street.
and to smoke and looking for Johnny looking for is all to finish at this moment. Help me, John, please. Help me. They can breathe this prison Russian zone is low. In one of countries is where we want to live forever. Help me, John, please.
Says that's your old
I will not consent to live in prison Russian zone with under influence these technologies and these Russian threats and their six and hairs. Help me, Johnny, please. No, Johnny, the real human is not a Russian threat and their six and hairs. Help me, Johnny, please. It was Johnny, my everyday video message, Johnny. Number one, Johnny. Who is my prison day looking for? Lara and Dungeon Joe and Kirsten York.
So I think we're
And
just
let
keep
people
walking
thrust
over to Union.
from the America, Canada, Alaska, Sea, and Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Australia,
Brown
Germany,
building,
and
the
Czech
LCD. Maybe
Republic.
your stream was a little delayed.
Help me, Johnny, please.
David Worrell,
Help
Hungry
me.
Derby Scotsman, in the chat.
Johnny is not fake. And is not Russian threats. And their six and hairs.